Jello Beats, holla at me.
Do 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 do. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Do. Making sure everything good, making sure everything is good and we all right.
Now the Michigan man, Jake Moody, to get us started. And off we go from Soldier Field. On the return, it's Tristan Ebner from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And boys, he got
There we go.
package.
There we go.
Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown. Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist. Because
his first throw of the game going to be intercepted.
There we go.
By Fred Warner, and he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
And part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity, just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
So here are the 49ers and their offense in great field position already.
Got them how I want it.
And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And he comes to the end of the season leading the NFL in passing yards. And that's not necessarily something you set out to do at the beginning of the year, but it's a good illustration of how remarkable and consistent he's been all season.
Purdy bootlegging it, rolling to his right. That's complete, right around the 8.
Get in it.
He's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, second and right at a yard.
And it's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and pick.
Hey, baby. Hello? I don't know why I keep forgetting you driving. Hey, can you get the Canes for us? Yes. All right, there. You know what? I want Caniac combo. Substitute the coleslaw for an extra thing of toast. All right. All right.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. A great play there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Niners use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Testing, 1, 2.
Jake Moody now for the point after. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Read option. Here's Herbert. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. And Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. Fields to Mooney for the Chicago first.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And they'll let the quarterback
There we
keep
go.
it here on 1st and 10.
Nothing.
And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now Fields. This is caught by Williams. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Go ahead and get the rush on.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now a first down throw, Fields. He'll find his man, Laviska Shenault. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first. Throwing again is Fields. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
There we go.
Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Sliding out of the pocket. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
So many times coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
The numbers for McCaffrey last week. 10 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown.
10 touchdowns on the season for him, and I don't know whether these goals are written down. I don't know whether they're discussed amongst the team, but I do know this. Every guy who touches the ball as a ball carrier thinks 10 touchdowns is a nice round goal to try and reach in a season.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that
Trying to
make a
see if
secondary
that strong
talk to
safety
each other
come up
and
there,
not
I'm
in a
gonna hit
good
that,
way. Oftentimes
post
pointing
route.
fingers. Hey, who's got him? Someone cover him. That type of indecision can open up even more big plays.
Purdy's throw taken in by Samuel. And all the way
Go
down
down there,
inside
drop
the 5
that
to the
one. Check
4.
that.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. McCaffrey going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. 2nd and goal from the 1. You see Purdy, he's going to shift him around.
Damn.
2nd and 1. That'll be caught by Ayuk.
Got him.
Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Niners have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Got him.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
Keep putting the pressure
The
on.
Chicago offense set to get started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him.
I don't know how you got past my
humor,
D-tackle.
maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it, but whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now motion left with Mooney. Another carry for Herbert on
There we
second
go.
down. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. (14-0) the score. This is the NFL.
Ran a lot of safety blitz.
Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Let's see.
To throw is Fields.
Boom.
He's
Damn.
got the hook up. It's Chenault on the crossing route. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Herbert powering up the middle. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw perfect. Fields hit and the ball is loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him?
Yeah,
How happy was he at the end of it when he found the football again, able to retain possession?
Under pressure, they got him again. Drake Jackson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Blake Gillikin on to punt now on 4th down. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right at the 35. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense 1st and 10. Christian McCaffrey and his 49er teammates back onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background.
They did their first down.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. The Niners at 14-1 now on the year. And I tell you, it has been a few months now since they've tasted defeat, and they are without question the hottest team in football.
And I'm really not sure who's going to beat them right now because to me, they have to be the favorites to go all the way because they're not just beating teams, they're dominating them. It's been fun to watch them play, not just in their winning,
Yeah, my rookie
but how
running
they're
back
getting it done.
5'10" and 220, 4'40".
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That good for 22 and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Nifty move.
There we go.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Guys should be out there playing with
Hold on
that
here,
horse
because
collar
on that
anyway.
last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Here's 2nd and 3. And this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. Connecting here with Christian McCaffrey. And the 49ers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. To another on-target throw, and that last one, Charles, going to put him up over 5,000 yards passing now for the season, and that is not an insignificant number.
Indeed it is not, because this is not a big list, and most of the guys on it, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Dan Marino, they either are or will be Hall of Famers.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And
there we go.
The chalk into the end zone. It's a
Put everybody in that middle, stop that fullback. Oh.
It's the fullback with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Niners have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Moody good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a good burp.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. Fields.
There we go.
And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Fielded at about the 28.
The fuck? Why is he
Nice
so
job on the
goddamn
return there,
fast?
16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
And he will find his man, Samuel. Touchdown! Deebo Samuel, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are able to add on to their first half lead. Now Moody for the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And take it right on the 30. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Deebo Samuel and the 49ers back in possession here. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to...
It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
He's going to go in. So I'm going to take that if he does.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare...
Beat him at the line. I'm throwing it. He dropped it. Beat him at the line.
He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now it's 2nd and 10. Purdy. Quick slant to Brown. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Throwing here, Purdy. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 4th down, here's Purdy. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Here we go. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their 38. Now it's Fields. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll set up the screen for Herbert. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear 1st down.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Nope.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and they will remain well behind.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So they say no to the penalty, the incomplete. Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Almost got loose on them.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. McCaffrey on the counter. Oh, what a juke into space. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 68 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. Now Purdy with a throw that's caught by Samuel. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I'm going to make sure I don't get no deep plays.
McCaffrey running up the middle. Calling a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That play looked off right from the beginning because I think he hurt himself a little bit and ended up making the throw short of the back on the screen attempt. It falls incomplete.
Purdy on 4th down. They'll find Ayuk open right side. And he is going to be out of bounds a couple of yards short of the marker. And they will fail to convert here on 4th down. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Now Fields going to move him around.
Pressure on.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And there he goes. The 49ers get there. Drake Jackson able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That'll be caught right side. Chenault with it.
Got him.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
The boy didn't know what to do.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Pulled in at the 24. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Niners set to take over on offense. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at about the 32. And he'll start by handing this off to McCaffrey.
There we
and
go.
they get him down, but not
There we
before
go.
he takes it across the 40-yard
Oh,
line.
they booked.
Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the
Don't got
field.
nobody cover them middle of that
Always
field.
unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Purdy now to throw off the play action. And that one into the hands of Ayuk downfield. A big play there for the Niners. 46 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment.
Yeah,
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now Purdy. That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A 9-yard touchdown there. And the 49ers have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Moody good with the extra point. And that makes this 35-0 now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. And the Niners get there and bring him down. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. Responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player having that type of a day because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, you know, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. but all the runners that I know would say,
Under pressure,
came out of
and
no
he'll
fucking
go
way.
down. Sacked back at the 31. Montez Sweat picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Just look at how he got there like that. That freaking right tackle. And my center.
On second down, McCaffrey.
We play some
And he will
improvement.
cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. Purdy now to throw. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up for the 1st and goal.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the back now at Soldier Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Take go.
Here's Purdy. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. Moody good.
No need to even play him no more.
And it is 42-0. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Try to get up there.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Willis looking to throw it. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Bears are going to get it back here just past the 35. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Drake Jackson getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Throwing on 3rd down. Fields nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being... That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers.
Put that ball right in the end zone.
Brandon Ayuk, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Onto the field now come the Bears. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense is really strong. And he's going to go down again. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Here's Fields. A quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Fields. He'll fire deep, looking for more. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fielded at the 33. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. There's receiver Brandon Ayuk as San Francisco's offense returns to the field. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
See what you got, Debo.
Now Samuel. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Up the gut, McCaffrey, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll run for it. McCaffrey.
Face
And
mask.
he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. And they've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Samuel. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd down now, it's Bass. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the 1st. Willis now off of play action. They'll roll him out right. Willis takes a hit and the ball is free. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. On 1st down, Fields. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. At the 23, it's 2nd and 12.
Yeah, good shot.
Now Fields. His throw incomplete.
Well, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Greedy Williams picks it off. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. That kind of puts the bow on what has been a complete performance, Charles. They're pitching a shutout on the other side in this offense. They've done their thing well, too.
Yeah, this game has been an all-out effort from them on every snap, and there's a good amount of pride on the line right now. They want to finish what they started. They want this shutout preserved.
And he pushed it right. It's no good.
Oh, well.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Ebner going to elect to bring this out of the end zone here. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Chicago offense set to get started. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Ball game.
So the victory here for San Francisco. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the 49.
Do this breakout, dude. Now I gotta re-sign him. On the next week.